Welcome to the H.I.T podcast, H.I.T, Human Resources, Insurance, and Technology. I'm your host, Toby Kennedy. As we do every week, we're dropping into your feed with what we hope are bite-sized, digestible, well-curated conversations going on in the space. We drop every Tuesday. Join us, like, subscribe, and let's get into this week's episode, which is brought to you by Montage Insurance Solutions. This week's episode, I'm bringing you a couple of updates that are coming down the pike January 1st, 2026. So a bit of an in the news episode. First and foremost, the IRS has released the affordability per the ACA percentages this year, up from 9.02% this year. The 2026 affordability has been set at 9.96, which is the highest I've ever seen it. So it's good for employers. It means that the new federal poverty limit safe harbor figure is $129.89. In other words, if you use $129.89 as the employee-only deduction for the cheapest plan in your portfolio, at the very least, doesn't matter about buy-ups. And again, we did a whole affordability episode 21. So go back and check that out if you want more details on affordability. But if you do that figure, the $129.89, you will be safe using the federal poverty limit safe harbor, because the federal poverty limit is indexed every year and the affordability is indexed every year. And that is their intersection in 2026. But bigger than that, the one big, beautiful bill has passed, and it's coming down the pike, and it changes some things. Some of the Tax Cuts and Job Acts provisions of 2017 have been made permanent. Certain things like enhancements to 529 plans. There's also a new Trump account for minors that you can have some employees maybe asking about and setting aside some dollars for their children. But bigger changes, I think, in the HSA and FSA space. So just kind of want to spell out what the one big beautiful bill means to us as benefits administrators. First and foremost, changes to the HSA, the health savings account. One thing that's pretty interesting is all ACA Marketplace individual bronze and catastrophic plans are automatically HSA compatible. So the thing that makes an HSA is not just the high deductible, but also that there's no first dollar coverage. In other words, prescriptions, office visits, everything was supposed to be subject to the deductible. Now, all bronze and catastrophic plans on the individual ACA Marketplace are automatically HSA compatible. So that expands what products are HSA compatible. Speaking of expansions of HSA compatibility, the telemedicine benefit is now HSA compatible. So you can have first dollar coverage even in your employer plans and not disqualify a plan's HSA compatibility. So now is a wonderful time, if you have a health savings account, to review telehealth options. You can have telemedicine benefits pair into your HSA products and keep them HSA compatible. So now members can get first dollar coverage on HSA plans via telemedicine. And that's actually one part of the bill that's retroed back to 12/31 of 2024. So that's kind of a cool benefit. Also, when we talk about things that used to disqualify HSA plans, direct primary care, or DPC, first of all, even having a direct primary care arrangement would have disqualified. No longer. You can have a direct primary care relationship, which in theory is also providing you kind of pre-deductible coverage. That will no longer disqualify your HSA compatibility. So you can have an HSA style product, you can have a direct primary care relationship, and you can still have the HSA bank account piece, which is awesome. And furthermore, you can use HSA dollars to pay those direct primary care fees. $150 to an individual, $300 for a family. So up to those thresholds, those are HSA eligible expenses. So not only does the DPC not disqualify the HSA, you can actually use some HSA dollars. Those are eligible to go towards the DPC fees, which is kind of rad. I suppose One other piece I want to get into is on the dependent care flexible spending account side. The dependent care flex had been set at $5,000 for decades. That got bumped up to $7,500 now, which is super cool because now you can set aside more money into your dependent care flex. Caution though, they didn't make any changes to the discrimination testing, so you do just want to be careful on that. Again, looking back historically, episode 29 of the podcast, we sat with someone, Valerie Foster, shout out, and we went over non-discrimination testing. But I just want to caution that the dependent care, it did go up, which is awesome, from $5,000 to $7,500. But if the higher earners are the ones setting aside, you want to take note on the non-discrimination. But that's awesome because it hadn't changed in quite some time. So quick review on some of the big changes, I think, on the HSA side, on the dependent care flex side, and then even HSA contribution limits for 2026 up to $4,400 for an individual, $8,750 for a family. A couple of those kind of new dollars that are indexed every year that have been decided upon that we just want to touch on in today's episode. So today's episode is a little bit of a current events and how some of the changes, specifically IRS type of regs, might impact our plan designs. And that's all the time we have for you on this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to our sponsors, Montage Insurance Solutions, Rula, Excel Health, TrueHue, keeping the lights on. We're blessed to be here. Thank you guys for joining us. Join us next week. Join us every week. And until next week, make this the best week yet.